Hey guys, Chris from Axe Effects Tutorials here, and in this video we're going to talk about the master volume versus the level parameter in the amp block. A question on the forum today says, when I want to increase the volume of my preset, should I turn up the master volume in the amp block or the level? Or do those two act as the same thing and it won't matter? So the answer to the question is the level parameter. That's the best way to adjust your levels between presets or even scenes depending how you're set up. Level and master volume are not the exact same thing in the Fractal gear. Now real quick, just to show what we're talking about is the master volume parameter here in the amp block versus the level parameter. That's what it looks like in the edit software. And on hardware, it's the level parameter here. And this is duplicated on several pages on the hardware versus the master volume parameter there. Now the reason for this is the level parameter simply adjusts level up and down and doesn't affect tone in any other way. The master volume, however, also controls the amount of power amp distortion that the amp block produces. To show this real quick, I have a Friedman HBE here at all default settings except for the master volume and the level parameter. On channel A, I have the master volume at 1, and on channel B, I have the master volume on 10. Now you might notice the level is different in each of those because I have to adjust for the amount of volume that comes from changing the master volume, of course. But let's just hear the difference. So I'm going to just chug away on some notes so you can hear it clearly. Here's the master volume at 1 on channel A. And here's the master volume at 10 on channel B. Now, to me, that's a pretty big difference in the tone and sort of quality of distortion between those two. And again, just the master volume was changing and the level, of course, to balance between those. Now, on channel A, the master volume is at 1, so there's not a lot of power amp distortion going on. So it's a cleaner tone compared to the other one, and there's a lot more low end. Now on channel B, with the master volume cranked up, there's a different quality of distortion. It's a little harsher because it's power amp distortion, the power tube distortion. There's a lot less low end, a lot more high mid or something like that. Very different tone. And if you look at the levels, on the louder master volume version, the level is at minus 12 dB to get that level. And on channel A, with the lower master volume, we're at plus 10 dB to get the same amount of level. So yes, master volume definitely affects the level that we hear through our speakers and things like that, but along with it comes the amount of power amp distortion. Now, those are extremes, very low versus very high. Usually the master volume on a higher gain amp like this is maybe between 3 and 6, something like that. It really depends on the quality you want. So can you use the master volume parameter to adjust the level between presets? Sure, you could. But along with that comes the power amp distortion. And if you had to crank the level up to, match some other presets so you could hear it better, along with that could come some power amp distortion that you don't want, completely changing the tone, and you might not even realize it. So that's why the level parameter is the best place to simply adjust level between presets or just in the same preset or whatever. So let me show you real quick how I might adjust the master volume to get the amount of power amp distortion that I want for a higher gain tone like this. So usually the first thing I do is turn the level parameter way down. I just don't want any surprises if I'm adjusting drive or volumes or anything like that. I don't want to blow any speakers or anything. So I'll just turn that way down so I know I'm not going to make a loud noise. And the master volume, typically, let's say a starting point is around 3 on a master volume. So once I have that, and we're not touching anything else for now, I'll play a chord, hold it, and then slowly turn the level up. Okay, that's a good starting point. We're at minus 2.5 dB on the level. And an important thing here is that the resulting number of the level parameter doesn't matter at all. You're not going to have all of your presets and scenes at level minus 2.5 on the amp block, because the drive, the input trim, treble, bass, all of these things contribute to the amount of sound coming out of the amp, the level, especially the master volume like we just showed. So it doesn't matter what this resulting number is. So don't set your level to like 0, for example, and then adjust other things to make it sound correct. Like, that's exactly what this parameter is for. It doesn't matter the result. It's just, it gets you to where you need to be level-wise. Now from here, let's say I play. Oh, I want to hear what more master volume sounds like. So first I would turn the level down, because we know increasing master volume increases the level. So I'll turn it down just a little bit this time, and then I'll play a chord and slowly bring the master volume up. Okay, so that's where I want the master volume, but I can't hear it. So let me slowly turn the level up now. Okay, cool. I like that sound, so I'll save or start adjusting other things like drive and bass and all of that. But yeah, that's how I'll typically do it. Anytime I'm working with anything that adjusts the level, I'll pull this down just a little bit to, save any surprises, adjust the parameter I need, and then just balance between the two and turn the level up to where I need to go. But now you might be thinking, well, how do I know what the right level is? I can hear it with my ears, but it says I'm clipping, or, then I go to the gig and I can't hear it. Well, there is a way, and it's built into both the hardware and Edit. In Edit, all you need to do is go to Tools and then Preset Leveling, and this second window will pop up. Now, typically you would have it on the side of your editor so you can, see everything, but for this stream sort of setup, I have to put it on top. Anyway, here it is, and when I play, we'll see the meter fill up and show me how loud I am. So on this meter, you'll see a darker color down here and then a lighter area up here. And right where that color changes, this is sort of a reference line, sort of your nominal level, your average playing level. So the theory here is if you level all of your presets to this area right here, all of your presets are generally going to be the same volume or level, on your speakers when you're playing. If you want something louder, you would level it slightly above that area. If you want it quieter, you would level it slightly below. So let's play a little bit and see where we are. From here, we just said that the level parameter in the amp block is the best place to adjust it. But you don't have to go to the amp block from here while you're in Edit. Amp 1 level is right here. They put it right here. So yes, this is definitely the best place to level your presets and sounds with. So let's play, and I'm going to adjust the amp level right here. Okay, that's pretty good. We ended up at minus 9.4 dB, and it was hovering right around this area. Now you'll notice there's no like peak hold or any dot that kind of stays there. You actually don't want to level using a peak. If I do some palm muting, you'll see that it gets louder, right? It goes into that red area. If I play open chords, it's much quieter. If it had a peak hold, I might look at it and be, oh, wow, there's some very loud things there. I need to turn it down so all the peaks are at that line. And then when I do that, my palm mutes would be at my average playing level, but then everything else would be much quieter, and you might run into trouble there. So that's why there's no peak hold there. It's sort of just an average general meter where you play, and on average, you want to aim for that area to have a reference point. So that's good. It's going slightly above, slightly below, but on average, it's around there. Now, from here, you're going to save or, whatever you want to do. And then at the gig or at rehearsal or something, it might change a little bit depending on the room and things like that. So this is sort of just a ballpark to get your presets around the same level. And then, everything changes at the gig, right? So, but you have a good starting point, and maybe you just have to go like half a dB either direction depending on your sound. Now this meter also appears on hardware, so if you're at the gig and need to do this, it's right here. So first you need to press Layout, which is the B button on the front panel, and you'll be in this sort of zoomed in view. You can't see all the blocks. What you want to do is press the A button and it'll zoom out. You can see the entire grid, and also the meters appear on the top. We're going to zoom in here on my screen, and there's those meters. And it's the same thing. If I play, I see the same exact meters, and I can level my sound to that line there, just to the right of middle. Now, I like using the hardware meters when possible. It's right on the unit. It's the most responsive, so I prefer using that. Now from here, let's say you need to change the amp level. You don't have to go to the amp block on the hardware and like edit in and get to the level. There are some quick controls right on the screen with the A through E knobs underneath, and the C knob is actually block level. I'm going to play and turn the C knob, and I'll be adjusting the amp level parameter, the same one we've been doing this whole time. So all the leveling you really need is built right into the unit, both hardware and edit. Now I'm using an FM3 in this video, so we only see one amp level parameter here. On the FM9 and AxFX3, those have 2 amp blocks. So with a second amp block, you'd see amp 2 level right here. So there it is, master volume versus level in the amp block for adjusting the overall level of your preset or scenes or however you have it set up. Again, you can use the master volume if you want, but it also affects the amount of power amp distortion. So you might as well adjust the master volume for just that. Again, the level will change, so you'll have to compensate with the level parameter, but get your power amp distortion exactly the way you want it. Not a lot, a ton right in the middle, and then adjust your overall levels of that amp or preset using the preset leveling meter, either on edit or on hardware. So that's it for this video. I'll see you in the next one.